Welcome back to another video. Now today I'm going to be talking about Ghostrunner. I've been playing it for about 7 or 8 hours now and it's been quite an experience, I have to say. This isn't a full review of course because I haven't finished the game, so that would not be fair. I just thought I would share with you my first impressions and you can decide if it's worth your time. So a little bit of background first. It was co-developed by One More Game and Slipknot Ironworks and published by 505 Games. It is a cyberpunk world. You play as a ghostrunner, which is like a sort of robot guy with a sword. I mean, do you need to hear more? You need, I say, more for this game. And you're put into this futuristic world, and you kind of have to like help this uprising. It's kind of hard to really explain when you kind of haven't been paying attention that much because you're having so much fun just killing everything. You basically play as Jack, who is this ghostrunner who awakens with no memory. Yeah. It's that kind of story to start with, but whatever. You can, whatever. It's a vessel for us to do lots and lots of killing, and you kind of make your way through these levels. The levels are like it's a linear world, linear levels. You kind of make your way through a mixture of platforming where you're just kind of walking around and you're seeing this futuristic world, and it looks spectacular. You do some basic platforming, and then you'll move on to those encounters where you'll face enemies, and that's kind of where the game shines. Now my first impressions, the first couple of hours, I actually streamed it, so if you want to watch me play it for the very first time, you can do that by rewatching one of my streams. First 3 hours I was like, wow, this game is pretty challenging. It's a simple game in the sense of the controls are really simple. You have a jump, you have an attack, you have a dash, and you have some like in-game abilities as well, but that's pretty much it. There's only really 4 or 5 buttons you actually use other than the sticks, of course. And I remember playing it thinking this is like so simple, yet I am struggling with it so much. The learning curve is just so fierce in the first couple stages, and you kind of find that even though they're the easiest, you're just dying and dying. There's like a deflect option, which way basically if you attack at the right time, you can deflect bullets. And it's so important to the game, and it's kind of hard to time it initially. And I found myself just dying all the time. The jump is an R1 instead of X, and I found that quite jarring because you kind of instinctively press X to jump, and I just found myself dying, especially when you're playing multiple games like I have been doing of late. I'm kind of like, it just feels a bit weird to be doing it. However, you do pick it up quite quickly, and what I would say is after the first 3 hours were hard, but then it gets a lot easier, I have to say. So I've been playing it now 6-7 hours, and I feel like it just clicks and you just pick it up instantly. And yes, it gets harder as the game goes on, but your level, as long as you stick with the game, you do pick it up really quickly, probably because it is quite simple. The game itself, it's actually pretty simple. It's just a case of clearing areas and learning when and how to use your abilities. And when you do that, you actually do pick it up really quickly, and that allows you to have so much fun, which I think the main thing is. This game is so fun, it's so fast, and I think when you get into the encounters, you basically, you do them a lot, you do replay them a lot. Like I've been capturing footage and you can see it, and I was like, can I even use this footage? Because it's just me dying and dying and dying over and over again. But that's kind of the point. Like, you do die so much, and you kill enemies in one hit and they kill you in one hit. It is so fast, but you're straight back in there. I'm not sure what the PlayStation 4 load times are like, but on the PlayStation 5, split second, you're back in to go again. And although it's a combat based first person sort of platforming game, to me, it very much feels like a strategy puzzle game. You're presented with an area, and you're presented with so many enemies, and you have to figure out what is the best way to defeat them. Yes, you need the skill to do that. You have to be able to deflect, dodge, attack, but you have to sort of map out the way you're going to take every encounter. And I think it's really good. It's really intuitive. I love those sort of things, and the idea of making split decisions, but also having a pre-plan. I think it's really excellent, and it just really gets you engrossed in each encounter. When you get frustrated and you finally get past that one enemy, then you have another couple left to go. You're like, yes, okay, I've mastered this part of the game. I need to keep going on and mastering the whole encounter, because the encounters are actually really quick. If you can do an encounter without getting killed and doing it first time, you can finish the encounters in 30 seconds. But you find that in the early stages they take you 10 minutes, and then even now they're still taking me 4 or 5 minutes to actually figure out what I need to do and how I need to move around that map. And I think it's just a really good gameplay loop. The only negative I've got of the game is there's actually puzzles in the game, and they kind of like, activate certain things to make certain puzzles fit together and stuff, and I can see why they put it in to sort of break up the speed of the game, because the game is so fast. But then these puzzles are so slow, it really takes you out of the game. And it kind of makes you think, like, it feels like a different game, essentially, because you're not using any of your abilities, you're just pressing X to make things move. And there's not loads of them, but yeah, I have completed 3 or 4 of them already, and I have to say, I didn't find it particularly hard, but I also just didn't really enjoy them. So that'd be my only minor of the actual game, the only negative so far. The trophy list is okay. It's a 6 out of 10. I personally don't know if it actually is warranting a 6 out of 10 in terms of difficulty just quite yet. I mean, I haven't finished the game, so you have to take what I'm saying, you know, consider that. When I think of other 6 out of 10 games like Hades and Batman, Arkham Asylum, both those games are considerably harder than this game. And the game, the trophy list just really consists of story, kill-based trophies, and then collectibles, and I think that's a really, really good balance to have. Yes, I'm not a big fan of collectibles. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're amazing, but there's only 3 or 4 level, which isn't the end of the world, but there is like 15 levels, so there's still quite a lot of collectibles. And for me, there's no chapter select, but there's no, like, the levels are actually quite long, 30 to 35 minutes. So actually, if you find that you've missed one, you've got to replay the whole game again, which is a little bit frustrating, I have to say, because I personally don't like replaying levels for collectibles. But if you just miss collectibles, I would say do it on your first run if you're going to be going for the platinum, just because you don't want to be replaying the entire game again. But there is points where you're going to have to go through, because a lot of the kill-based trophies, you're going to have to do them on certain levels. So you're going to have to replay levels anyway, so if you've missed certain collectibles, I wouldn't worry about it too much. You know, you'll have an opportunity to get them when you're going back through for the kill-based trophies. But all in all, just to wrap things up, I think it's a really good game. Obviously, it was free on PS Plus. I stupidly bought the physical in January of this year, so I had to, I got the game free and I purchased it. So I've made an effort to actually use the disc on the game, because I was like, you know, I pay for the disc, so I'm going to use it, even though my PlayStation 5 disc tray is broken and just doesn't ever want to eject games. So Ghostrunner is going to be my console for the foreseeable. But what I recommended so far, yeah, like, it's such a good game. It's a bit of a challenge. It's going to take a bit of perseverance, but it's, you know, you'll be proud when you earn the platinum in this one, that's for sure. Let me know down below if you played Ghostrunner, if you've earned the platinum, how hard you found it, you know, for anyone else who's curious about the difficulty of this game. Let me know down below, and I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video. I also quickly like to say this is part of my 30-day challenge in June, where I'm doing a video every single day. So make sure if you're new here, you like and subscribe and you check out all of those videos. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.